Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Coming up today on HHS In Depth, Joel McChesney brings you the second part of his story about the Homestead High School construction project.
Along with a story from Matthew Otten getting you caught up on the place all students can go to get some help with their math homework each and every day.
Plus in sports, we will take a look at what was a successful week for the Spartans athletics. I'll get you caught up later in the locker report.
Those stories coming to you today only on HHS In Depth.
Hello Homestead, I'm Sean Ross.
And I'm Anthony Gary. Last week we got you caught up on the construction progress of the new Homestead High School. This week, reporter Joel McChesney is back once again. And this week you'll learn about when certain areas of the school under construction will be accessible to all students and staff.
The Homestead construction project officially has an end goal in sight, as some buildings may be accessible to students as soon as this coming October.
We are hoping that very soon what we're referring to as the Grand Spartan Hallway will open. So where the new roundabout is, there is a large door and all students will enter the school through that door. So the hope is that by October, mid-October, perhaps sooner, that building will be that part of the building will be ready for occupancy. So that would include the weight room and the main entryway. Then looking further down, we're hoping by the middle to end of October to have the new competition gym ready. And there is a new facility called the Gray Box, which students may not be familiar with. It's a small theater that's used for smaller productions or for the theater class or for individual projects where you might need to have that kind of a setting. We're hoping that will open as well this year.
With the original plan having things such as the Grand Spartan Hallway and the weight room open at the start of this school year, construction crews have been dealing with many of the same issues we see in everyday life.
There are a lot of supply chain issues. So we'll order something, for example, the grand entryway was supposed to be open at the start of the year, but there was an electrical box that usually takes a week to arrive, that it was months. And so because it didn't arrive, nothing else could be done. Everything was dependent on that one box being installed. There also off and on has been labor shortages, which students are aware of. They've seen signs everywhere, hiring signs. The same is true in construction. But they are working weekends, some evenings. They're doing their best to stay up with the schedule. It's a very challenging thing.
The end date to the construction project is officially unknown, as construction crews face new problems every day. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Joel McChesney.
All right, thank you for the report, Joel. Well, just last week, one Homestead teacher received some big news on his quest since receiving Teacher of the Year last May. And Emily Adams joins us now to get us caught up.
That's right, Anthony. Some big news came to our very own Mr. Beer late last week. As the 2022 SACS Teacher of the Year, Mr. Beer received word that he is advanced to the top 25 of the Indiana State Teacher of the Year, which will be announced later this school year. Mr. Beer caught me up with the long process of the state's Teacher of the Year campaign.
It has been a long process at the beginning, and then I didn't hear anything. So for like the month of June, there was a lot of writing that went into it. So I wrote about different things about my class, what I teach, some stuff about my background in teaching, like my goals or the things I try to accomplish in my classes. And so there was like a huge application that I sent at the beginning of July. And then I didn't hear anything until last week, and that was when I got a message saying that I was in the top 25. Mr.
Beer explained that any accomplishments he earns at the state level can be attributed to Southwest Allen County schools.
Yeah, it would be a huge honor, and I'd be really excited, and I'd be really proud. But I also know that, I'd be happy for the school, and I'd be happy for the district, because it's definitely something that's shared.
On behalf of Homestead, we want to congratulate Mr. Beer on his amazing accomplishment, and we eagerly anticipate the next update from the state to find out if he makes the top 10 list. That news is expected to be released in the next few weeks.
We're all wishing Mr. Beer the best of luck. Thank you, Emily.
And while temperatures are starting to cool, there's still a bit of summer left. Stay tuned and I'll be back to let you know what you can expect tonight and the weekend ahead.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth with Anthony Gary and Sean Ross.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Well, we're only 3 weeks into the new school year, but if you already feel like you're behind in your math class, we've got some potential help for you.
To find out more about the place that is here for you to get some extra math help, here's HHS In Depth reporter Matthew Otten.
While freshmen and other new students are new to Homestead, the math department has developed a way for students to succeed in any math subject. The Math Resource Room is the location to go if they need assistance.
If you're having trouble with math, this is an excellent place to go because you're going to be able to get that one-on-one help with an instructor that knows what's going on in each of the classes.
The Math Resource Room is a designated room that students can go during study hall, seminar, before and after school if they need any help with math courses here at Homestead.
We're open every period of every day during your study hall, or if you have a free period and you can get your teacher to write you a pass, you can come down and use it. It's also open after school on Wednesdays and Thursdays until 3:20. If you're scared of it, just try it once, see what you think. And if it's not a good experience, try it a second time. The more you come, I think the more comfortable you'll be. As long as you're coming in to be productive and learn something, you're welcome to come as often as you need.
The Math Resource Room is open throughout the school day and after school on Wednesdays and Thursdays. If you need any help, teachers will be happy to assist you. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Matthew Otten.
Thanks, Matthew. Attention students who have started courses this semester that offer dual credit from Ivy Tech. You need to be sure to complete all steps towards being correctly registered and then also qualified for your courses prior to the September 14th deadline. Students need to log into Canvas and complete all steps in the Ivy Tech Canvas module to register, enroll, and qualify for their courses. Contact Mr. Clark with any questions at the email address shown here.
Class of 2023 students, the Lilly Endowment Community Foundation Scholarship is now listed on the HHS Scholarships page. All application materials for the scholarship must be submitted to the Student Services Office by 2:45 p.m. on Tuesday, August 30th. No late applications will be accepted. For further details about this scholarship and others, please visit the HHS Scholarships page, which is under the Guidance tab.
Attention girls basketball players. There will be an informational meeting today after school for any girl interested in playing basketball at Homestead this year. The meeting will take place at 2:50 p.m. in room 523 today.
Attention boys basketball players. There will be a brief boys basketball meeting on Tuesday, August 30th in room 902 at 2:40 for anyone interested in trying out for the boys basketball team who is currently not in a fall sport.
And now here's a look at all the clubs meeting over the next week. Interested in politics? Want to discuss issues with your peers? Go to Young Progressives today after school in Mrs. Smith's room, room 614. All viewpoints are welcome and snacks will be provided. Students Against Destructive Decisions, or SAD, will have its first meeting of the year on Monday, August 29th, starting at 2:45 in room 714. If you have any questions, please contact Mr. Decker. Basket Weaving Club will meet Monday, August 29th after school until 3:30 in room 210, Ms. Lamont's room. They'll begin weaving their first basket of the year. Please bring your $15 dues for supplies. Do you want to explore a mystical world with a bunch of your friends, or do you just want to have fun as a fantasy creature? Whatever your goal, Dungeons & Dragons Club has a room for you. Join them Thursdays in the Cafe Annex. All you need is a pencil and a good attitude.
Audio aficionados will meet next Wednesday at 2:40 in room 600B. This week, the group will be listening to a full album from Metallica. Anime Club meets next Thursday, September 1st after school in room 924 until 3:45. They will be drawing, so bring your sketchbook if you have one. Calling all creative writers. Join them next week for a novel gathering, the call-out meeting for this year's Creative Writing Club. The meeting will take place on Thursday, September 1st in room 932, Miss Oliveira's room, from 2:45 to 3:15. Go meet your fellow writers and help us get organized for the year. Want to know more about Homestead's diverse student population or learn more about minority-owned businesses in Fort Wayne? The Minority Student Union will be meeting again next Friday, September 2nd from 2:45 until 3:45 in room 611, Dr. Robinson's room. All are welcome to attend.
Do you stand with women having their fundamental reproductive rights respected? Go to the next meeting for Students for Choice on September 7th in room 611, Dr. Robinson's room. Snacks will be provided. Well, Sean, this has been a great weather week for us so far. Hopefully the same can be said for tonight's football game.
Ryan Weidler joins us now to give us that answer as well as what's in store for the weekend.
Thanks, Anthony and Sean. The weather will be warm tonight with temperatures ranging from high 70s at first, with mid-60s and partly cloudy skies throughout the night. If you're planning to go to tonight's game against Concordia, it'll be 74 at kickoff and drop down to 68 by the end of the game. Jumping ahead to the weekend, Saturday will be similar with partly cloudy skies and similar temperatures. Temperatures will rise up to the high 80s on Sunday, still with partly cloudy skies. The weather is looking great for the weekend, but will this last? I'll be back with an update on what you can expect after the break.
Thanks, Ryan. Next in the Locker Report, Noah Johanningsmeyer will get us caught up on all our Spartan sports news.
Stick around. You're watching HHS In Depth.
Welcome back to the Locker Report. I'm Noah Johanningsmeyer, and now with the fall sports season in full action, we have a lot to talk about as the volleyball team had another successful week, including a 3-1 record at the Tom Heck Invitational, which included wins over Portage Northern, Northwood, and Hammond Bishop Knoll. On Monday, the Lady Spartans won against Warsaw 3-2. Now let's take a look at what our soccer teams have been doing over the past week. Starting off with the girls team as they played 2 games last Saturday, including a 5-2 win over Chesterton, in which Sydney Couch scored 2 goals. Later that same day, the Spartans would fall 3-1 against Evansville Memorial. As for the boys soccer team, they faced off against Leo on Monday night in a game that would end up in a 2-2 tie. Tomorrow morning, the boys will compete in the Carroll Classic at Carroll High School. Now switching over to cross country as both the boys and girls teams competed in the Huntington North Invitational. The girls team finished in first place with Addison Canablo, Elise Peckinpah, and Lauren Saddington all finishing in the top 10. As for the boys team, they finished in 4th place overall and will compete at Penn High School tomorrow morning. The boys tennis team started off their season this past week with 2 top 15 matchups. They split the 2 matches, winning 5-0 over number 14 West Lafayette and then falling 3-2 to number 2 West Lafayette Harrison. The Spartans are now ranked 7th in the state and will travel to Indianapolis tonight to face off against number 23 Brownsburg. The girls golf team competed against Huntington North on Monday, winning with the score of 157. The Lady Spartans were led by Cassie Ayers, Scarlett Sank, and Eliza Saul, who all shot 38s. Lastly, the football team won last week over the Northrop Bruins 50-14. Brett Fox had a huge game with over 160 yards in total along with 2 touchdowns. The Spartans also made big plays defensively as Isaiah Elward, Wyatt Little, and Sam Stewart all got interceptions. Stewart even took his all the way to the end zone for a pick 6. Now we are going to send it to Anthony Gary, who has an in-depth look at the girls cross-country team.
The girls cross-country team is one of, if not the best teams in the state this year. But this early in the season, nothing yet is guaranteed.
Well, typically for the last couple of years, we've been doing better as the season progresses. And so even though we're ranked 4th, I really think that we could do better. We could get 3rd. And I think that 2nd is also attainable. And of course, we're always aiming for that 1st spot.
One of the biggest question marks entering the season was how top runner Addison Canablo would perform coming back from the stress fracture she suffered during track season last year.
Addison is doing a great job with her progress. It's really difficult because she is a thoroughbred and thoroughbreds want to go, but she's become very patient.
The goal of the team is to most definitely make it on the podium and build off their 6th place finish from last year.
Missing it by 1 point last year, that was pretty heartbreaking, yet it was exciting because we weren't supposed to be there.
We are able to be there. We are one of the top teams in the state, and we're going to be up there in that top spot for as long as we can be and for many years in the future.
At the end of the day, cross country is an almost entirely mental sport. which makes things such as team chemistry and outside support so important.
This is a unique blend of young athletes. I think that the way they love each other is really important, the way that they care for each other and care about each other.
We're just really feeling that like we deserve to be the sport that everybody needs to pay attention to, since we put in work all year round, every single season and off season, and it's a lot of work, and we're really hoping that we get that recognition.
Girls cross country could be one of Homestead's best shots at a state title this year, and we're looking forward to following them throughout the rest of their season. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Anthony Gary.
Thank you, Anthony, and that's all for this edition of the Locker Report. I'm Noah Johanningsmeyer. Thank you for watching this week's segment, and Ryan will have a check of the forecast when we return.
Next week on HHS In Depth, reporter Graham DeWitt will bring you new information about the school's parking lots, carpool, and more. Catch this story and more next week.
Heading into next week, we will start off with some scattered thunderstorms on Monday and Tuesday. From there, we head into the rest of the week with mostly sunny skies and temperatures peaking from high 80s to mid 70s throughout the week. With temperatures still not showing any signs of dropping, you can expect a few weeks more of summer. Anthony, Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ryan, and thank you for watching today.
Good luck to all of our Homestead athletes and other performers in action this weekend.
Want to catch up with HHS In Depth beyond this news show? Check out our Instagram for updates on next week's show and nationwide news.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week.